السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We are Smart Parking System Group, and today we're going to present our project. And this presentation is divided to two parts. One part I will be presenting is about the packet tracer and the configuration of our network and the sensors. And the other part will be presented by my colleague Ahmed, and he will be talking about the website and functions of the website and how did he connect the sensor to the database. So let me begin. As you can see, there are three things. First, it's the parking, and the other one is the office, and finally, the one on the left is a home to make sure that we are able to access our HTTP server. So let me begin with the parking. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, as you can see, since the packet tracer has some limitations, we had all to configure only two floors, okay, with each floor containing 4 parking slots. And as you can see, we used a trip sensor that will detect movement if the laser is tripped. And uh, we programmed each sensor to be connected to the database, and also it's connected wirelessly to the SPS SSID, which represents the SSID for the home gateway, and the IoT server. As you can see, the IoT server, we used a remote server, and this is the username and the password for the IoT server. Okay, secondly, as you can see, we use a home gateway as I mentioned before, and it's connected to the DSL, and then it's connected to the cloud. The IPs for the home gateway is configured by using the DHCP server from the router that I will be showing in a minute. And that's it for the parking. And as you can see, the sensors will turn on or off depending if there is a car inside the parking slot or not. Okay. Next thing is I'll be showing is this part. And as you can see, first of all, this is the router that connected to the uh, to the to the cloud. Okay, and as you can see, as you can see, the DHCP configuration for the pool, and also for the one which is represent the home gateway and the sensors and the network and the parking. Okay, and they all be given the DNS server, uh, and the DNS server is shown here. Okay, as you can see, there are two servers. One is the DHCP and the other one is the DNS. This is the DNS server. As you can see here, the service. As you can see, you have our website www.spc.com, and the one on the right is the IoT server. As you can see in the services, IoT here, it's on, and here's our PHP files. And unfortunately, I tried to use to import files to the IoT server, but it's not showing. The browser for Packet Tracer has less features, so we prefer to perform the website from an outside browser, external browser like a Google Chrome. And also for this interface, I used two switches during since we are we're configuring our project in the physical interface. So I had to use two switches, and here, as you can see, the central office server, and it's for the backbone. It's configured with the default gateway and the DNS server that for our DNS server, and it's connected to the tower, as you can see. So for everyone who is outside our mall parking and for our network, he will be able to access the network if he is connected. Let me show you here. For the configuration, he will be connected to the 3G or 4G cell, and he will be giving the DNS server. For example, let me try to access our website www.spc.com, and as you can see, he will be able to access it. And that's it for my part. Next, my colleague Ahmed will.
This is Ahmed Shamri, and today we wanna go to the part two of the demo of our project, a smart parking system. Here is the Python server to catch the connection from the backtrace sensors, and here is the Python mail server which role to wait for the late parking workers so to send them an email. They will experience our project. This is the app interface. Sign up. We can sign up with the, for example, SOE 44, SOE 444, SOE. We can browse the parking available and check in on of the parking. Here we can reserve. After we reserve, the database will updated with the username and the parking slot and the starting time, and it will be not available for other users to reserve it. And here we can see the reservation or the reservation by the admin. This is the admin page. The parking slots, and here is let's go to the status location, floor 1 and slot 1. It seems to there is a parking the parking car, but it without a reservation. And here we can see in the parking the floor 1 and number slot number 1 and slot number 4. It is get the sensor catch a car, but there is no reservation for them, so it will be appear in the admin page to check for the problem with the sensors. We can easily fix it by just make the sensors get down. And as we can see, here is the admin point of view. This is the warning message, which refers to the easily it's the sensor catching a car, but there is no reservation for this car. We can easily fix the problem as admin by just turn off the sensors. Okay. And it will be automatically updated to the database after a minute. Available. Wonderful. Okay. Here is the problem. Okay, it will be available, it will be fixed. And this is the normal view of the admin panel. Thank you for listening.
So now we will take a look at the user interface. In here we have a login screen or a registration screen, so we will go ahead and register a user. and after registration you are redirected to the main page or the profile page, where you can reserve a parking. Of course, any parking that is already occupied will not show up. So we will, for example, choose this parking and select to reserve it, and it got reserved for us, and now it shows us the parking spot and the starting time. Of course, here is the payment interface, and in the beginning you are required to pay 10 reals, and the more you extend it, the more you pay, so it adds 10 reals for every extension. And if you try to exit without paying, it will give you a warning. So if we go ahead, for example, and try to extend it, we can, as you can see, we have extra, the price has went up. So if we now try to pay the amount, and go ahead and out. As you can see right now, we have 0 reals left to pay, so we can go ahead and exit the parking, and it exits the parking.
Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will discover the notification feature, which is basically when a user exceeds the time limit of the parking, which is in real life 30 minutes, but for demo purposes, we make it the time limit is 1 minute. We then after 1 minute, we send him an email. Let us receive a parking. Okay, and run the mail sender server. After 1 minute, we send him an email, tell him that he exceed the time limit, and ask him to extend parking time or leave the parking. As we can see here, the server checks after every 10 seconds, in a second, and when the user when the user يعني be in the parking after a minute, we will send him an email. Let us wait for 1 minute. After 1 minute, the server يعني know that the server the user be in the parking, and he sent him an email. As you can see, he asked the user to extend the time or leave. That's it for this demo. Thank you for watching.